What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Jeremy Clarkson, a British television host making fun of America. Well, as an American myself, I thought it might be fun to see what jokes or criticisms he has about America. But, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was a little nervous. But I mean, how bad could this be, right? Right? I don't know, but let's find out.
And if this were America, it would be full of people doing whatever it is they do. Incest, mostly. God, Florida's awful.
What? 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 Huh? Wait, hold on. Whatever it is we do? I was like, whatever it is we do? What do we do? Eat McDonald's? Shoot guns? I don't know. Incest? Incest? That is kind of a joke that we, funny enough, have in the United States, typically associated with the southern states, Is that what a lot of British people think about us? I don't know if I like this.
Incest, mostly. God, Florida's awful. Nasty insects, old people, fat people, a lot of people who all offer you cheese. You want cheese with that? You want cheese with that? And then shoot you. It also said...
Oh my God. All right. Tell me what you really think. Jeez. I don't know this British host very well at all. I think maybe I saw him in some clips of Top Gear, I think. But is this kind of his thing? Is he usually kind of roasting people or just Americans or like insects? Insects that give you cheese. These are insults I've never even conceived of before. And I kind of like it in a strange way.
As it has a completely flat belly, the only thing in America that has.
Yes, all right. Good news for rural inbreds this week. Hummer, the people who make those enormous pseudo-military off-roaders, this sort of thing, they have come out with a new range of aftershave and smelly stuff. There it is, Hummer. It's the first name that springs to me. Have a look at that. There you go. It's nice.
When you open the top, listen to the sound.
Yes, exactly. Oh, to
guaranteed not to repel your sister.
Yes.
Hey! Wait a minute. What's with all the incest, inbred jokes? I didn't know this was going to be such a thing. What's this? I've heard some criticisms of the United States before, many of which are kind of valid. But I've never heard so much poking fun at us for being incestual. What's it? I don't know. That kind of hurts.
You say it was a holiday, but actually it was a fly-drive holiday, so it wasn't a holiday at all, because, of course, you get to the car hire desk, and there's the gormless man with the spiky hair, and he types War and Peace into his computer for 16 hours, and then he doesn't know where England is, and he steals your driving licence, and then he directs you to a car park where your car isn't. Is it? You see, the problem is that the Americans aren't good on colours, and so you pay a fortune for the damn thing, and they say you can have it in red, white, black, yellow, or blue. What do we think?
Steady. It's only just quickly, okay? News from America, land of the free. They've announced in
They laughed. What was that? They're laughing. I caught that, by the way. It's like, America, land of the free, and all of them are like, what's this about?
Florida, that it's now legal. That's legal for bikers to ride their motorcycles without a crash helmet, as long as they can prove they've got $10,000 worth of health insurance. Well, that's just stupid. Apart from anything else, what's the point of insuring Americans' head? There's nothing in it.
Yes.
What is... Is this like a big thing on Top Gear, or just British TV shows in general, or... I don't know about all this. There's a lot, a lot of joke making at our expense. So, so- yeah, I'll be honest. Some of this is like genuinely funny. I think a good roasting is take it as well as anybody, but some of this stuff seems a little personal. It's not a thing going on in our head. Okay.
It's Miami, home to all the most successful drug dealers, this year's Mr. Big Mac, and Silicon Valley. All very glamorous. I was in America a couple of years ago filming. This took place in Texas, which is the biggest car dealership in the world. The frontage is a mile long. Okay. And I said to the guy who owned it, "What do you sell here?" And he went, "We sell a lot." And he mispronounced every single argo. Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Toyota, Nissan, Jaguar, BMW. Every single one of them was right.
He's pretty good at that, actually. I mean, come on. How would you feel if Americans, came into Britain and were like, "Oh, they're mispronouncing everything. Nothing makes sense." That's your accent. It's your local dialect, just like the Texas dialect. Which I'm laughing because there's Americans who kind of make fun of the Texas accent, but it's also, something we take a bit of pride in. That Texas is considered very, very America classic. Not that much of us have that accent, but I've never heard a British person impersonate it pretty well, actually. It's pretty funny.
Wrong. And you call it
I prefer Hyundai.
I agree with you. The Americans are very bad at some things. They can't say aluminium, and they can't win a war without our help. But the Moroso Motorsports Park is unusual in America because it has left-handed turns and some which go right as well.
Okay.
Perhaps that's why it was deserted, too complicated for the colonials. Or maybe everyone had been murdered.
What? I haven't seen much of this show. I think it's Top Gear. I think I saw some clips once upon a time in a different video. I didn't realize they did so much making fun of America. That actually seems to be kind of part of the show.
Some say that he's a CIA experiment that went wrong and that he only eats cheese. All we know is he's not the Stig, but he is the Stig's American cousin.
Who?
Big Stig!
The Corvette.
Stig, I don't know Stigs. I didn't really understand that joke. So, some of this British humor is, kind of flying over my head, maybe? but the second they say something bad about America, very straightforward, I'm just like, what? What did they say? But Stigs, some kind of overweight race car driver, something like that.
Corvette enthusiast in America is quite
Heavy.
Yes, they're bigger gentlemen, are they not?
Big boned.
Well, one of them visited the museum this week, and this happened. Mania, and we said a couple of years ago that this is the best road in the world.
I can't even defend that because I think statistics are against me. The United States is one of, if not the most overweight country. I think, gosh, what percentage of our population is obese? Maybe 30%, maybe more. At least 50 or 60% of us are overweight, whatever the technical definition of that may be. So I can't really argue against some of these jokes they're making.
World. However, many Americans say, and they do tend to know everything, that goes down here in M16.
Shut up.
And a vote Republican flyer.
American.
You're American?
Oh, no.
You can't be, you're nowhere near fat enough.
Peter Hemi V8.
And it'll be rubbish.
It's funny because you cannot make these jokes about weight in the United States. You can't say fat. You can't make fun of people for being overweight. I just realized how this would never fly in the United States, even though it's not good to be mean, but frankly, if Americans heard stuff like this more, maybe, other countries making fun of the weight thing, it really a health issue. Maybe it might jog somebody's brain in America and make them, want to go on a diet or exercise. Or not that I'm condoning, making fun of people for their weight or anything, but part of me is like, gosh, we never hear about this in the United States, even though it is a big problem.
How do you possibly know? You haven't driven it, they haven't built it yet.
Because it's American. All American cars are rubbish. I was over there the other day and I drove that Chrysler 300C
Wow.
SRT8. Have you ever pictured that thing?
Yes.
Appalling in every way.
Wow.
Remind me, who were the last 4 teams in the World Cup? All European. Women's finalists at Wimbledon, both European. Men's finalists, both European. Everything anyone ever does in any walk of life is done better by Europeans, and it's the same with cars.
Granted, apart from with American muscle cars, which only the Americans
Why would you
understand.
want an American muscle? It's rubbish.
They're exciting.
It's
you know?
rubbish.
Also, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm biased here, or maybe my sensitivities are higher because I'm the American here getting made fun of. But this host, him, some of the time it feels like he's just making fun of Americans in a funny, lighthearted way. But some of the time, like here, it genuinely sounds like he means what he says. Like that Americans have not contributed anything ever of any substance, or none of our athletes are any good, or that I do think that's funny in a joking way. But holy cow, maybe I think in Britain the comedy is that you are acting very sincere and very self-deprecating. I think that's what he's doing. He's just making jokes. I get that. But holy cow. I feel like this would make some Americans cry or something. Oh, get the mean British man away.
This is like a
Why are we doing this? Right.
If you're thinking of coming to America, this is what it's like. You got your Comfort Inn, you got your Best Western, you got your Red Lobster where you eat. Everybody's very fat, everybody's very stupid, and everybody's very rude.
Stupid? Rude?
It's not the holiday program, it's the truth.
Been filming in America, am I right?
Oh, yes, and I went to America a lot, and I had loads of things to tell you about America, and then I got there, and everybody backstage is American.
Well,
so it's a lovely place.
Well, no, you see, I'm going to see whether you have... So when you meet the Americans, because you're not a fan of America, are you, or American culture?
No.
No, clearly. I'm starting to think he's really actually not a fan. This is a talk show right here. This is not even like him making jokes on his own show. He's literally like, no, I don't like it.
I don't know, actually, because as you well know, and I'm sure anyone who's been to America knows, it's when you get to that Mr. Big Mac who's running the immigration desk, and you can't be funny, you can't be cheeky, because you know that he's going to send you to the back of the queue.
Well, this changes.
You can't be funny, you can't be cheeky. I mean, there's certainly aspects of British humor. I mean, British comedy, even in this video, like that we're talking about now, where it's like, maybe this is more common, more okay in Britain, but I do think Americans have a heightened sensitivity. We were talking about regarding to making fun of weight, for one thing, but also just this idea of making fun of yourself or allowing yourself to be the butt of jokes. I think Americans do have a problem with that and don't take it as well as British people do. I think British people, it's kind of a normal part of your life to make fun of, make lighthearted jokes about life and depressing topics, or make fun of yourself, or So it is kind of a cultural difference,
Yeah.
So we've got, in America, this is very literal in America.
Yeah. Well, they don't have anyone speaking other languages, though, which is why American cars always have the words for what it is written on it on the switches. It says cigarette lighter, horn, light. Whereas everywhere else in the world where there are other languages,
Yeah, they know what
it's
it is.
symbols.
Yeah.
That's just how stupid they are.
They are very literal like that. It's like they call glasses or spectacles eyeglasses. They have
Yeah.
to specify where they go on your face.
No, but every other word is wrong. I mean, vest. No.
No.
Pants.
No.
No. When it gets to cars, sedan, hood, fender, freeway, interstate, sidewalk, trunk.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's talking about. Because what he's talking about is the difference between British English and American English, and there are a lot of words and phrases. I've done countless videos trying to learn a lot of the British words for different objects. Countless. And I try to never say, oh, that doesn't make any sense, or oh, that's stupid. Just that it's different. That we're just different cultures that call stuff different things. So, yeah.
Trunk is on the front of an elephant, not the back of a saloon car, but they have no idea.
Yeah.
Gas. Gas. They call a liquid gas.
That one might be wrong. That one might be wrong. That might be a good point.
There are other examples of this Americanness too. For instance, in most cars, all the buttons have symbols on them, so you know what everything does. But in this, everything's written in English. Because, of course, the whole world speaks English, doesn't it? To someone at Cadillac...
Yeah, I never really thought about that. That he's right. That is an American thing. When we have English words written in our cars, there's a decent amount of car functions that do have symbols, if we're being completely honest. But you'll definitely see some like American cars that literally have words. I've never seen the word horn written. It's usually a symbol of a horn, but I get the joke, and it does have truth to it. That I think most Americans, we don't really think about that.
came across what in America is a very rare book called an atlas. In it, they found many strange and exotic places that weren't America. And one of these places was a continent called Europe. And in Europe, they found a country called Germany.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, and it's true. That's where I think that's why it's so funny. It's comical when there's a grain of truth to it, or in this case, more than a grain, more like a heap of truth. Americans are terrible at world geography. I mean, most Americans cannot label a map of Europe. I don't know if Europeans could fill out a map of the United States with the 50 states. That's tough. That's kind of like, maybe that's where most of our brain power is going towards. But yeah, Americans are terrible at geography and knowing about other cultures, and totally accurate.
And in Germany, they found something called the Nürburgring. And nor is it the fact that if you buy an American car, you're going to have to commit acts of love with your cousin. And the whole space frame is made from aluminum. Whatever that is.
System is showing the fast food icons.
First thing it goes to, the default setting, fast food. How American is that? It can't find London, can't find France, but it'll find you a burger.
Yes!
Iraqi restaurants. Well, that shut her up. The South it is. It's Christian, short hair, they don't like communists. They really do have an irony in the efficiency. I honestly believe that in certain parts of America now, people have started to mate with vegetables. What they'll do is they'll strip out all the interior carpets, radio, and that saves £40, or which in America is lunch, isn't it?
Who said Hummer?
Mike, you're thinking.
No, they're consistently ugly across their range of one car.
And they're designed by Americans who have the aesthetic ability of giraffes.
Yeah, you don't see Hummers all the time. I feel like I used to see them more in the past, Hummers. Yeah, I remember that. I feel like in the recent history, the popularity of the Hummer has gone down. I always thought they were outrageous. They're absolutely outrageous cars to see in real life.
Means 0 to 60 will be under 4 seconds.
And the best thing is it makes you 27% more attractive to your sister.
Why would...
Clearly, in this show, he is constantly doing these incest jokes, which I didn't even know about. Like, that also used to be a joke I heard more in the past. It's probably not politically correct to say anymore in America. And it was always referring to the southern states in the United States and this idea of family incest. And yeah, that is a joke in America too.
Why would the South Koreans nuke Hammersmith?
They use American guidance systems.
No, we're going off topic again.
It's basically underneath. It's a Mercedes SLK. It was designed by a British person, and it's been built in Germany. So that's a car for America to be proud of.
Really, really safe car if you crash it. Apparently not. Here is one that's been crashed, and that doesn't look too...
But that's run into an American's buttock.
my burger. You can
He's
see
dropped his styrofoam car. Oh, hell, Anna. Oh, hell, I've gone and run into my wife. One of her cheeks has done that.
It's a mess.
Oh my God. You know, holy cow, you would expect a Hummer to do better than this in a crash. Isn't that kind of the point of having such a big car?
That's how you know.
No, it's can you play rugby in it?
Rugby.
Yeah, no, rugby. It's if you're watching in America, rugby's a bit like American football, only it's played by men. So really, we do have 2 Top Gear top tips for you tonight. One, yes, you can buy rather than rent, and 2, don't go to America.
Wow. Oh my God. Let me see here. Okay. That was interesting. I thought most of that was funny, enjoyable. I think it's good to get a little taste of, people making jokes about you and be able to take it in a lighthearted manner. To be honest, yeah, I'm pretty open-minded about this stuff. He was going in on the American joke making fun of Americans. It almost felt a bit personal at times. Maybe that's just the British humor, and Americans are sensitive to that. I don't know. I thought most of it was funny, but holy cow, does when he goes in for jokes, he goes in, and he sounds sincere. I think that's just his, British wit and humor, and for the most part, I thought this was really funny, and it's kind of fun to hear what a British person, what they think about America, the things they notice, the things that they choose to make fun of, because that can kind of teach you a bit about what the world really thinks of you, even if they are jokes. So for many reasons, I enjoyed this. I think I'll get over my fragile ego will recover. I enjoyed this. It's pretty funny. So anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on making jokes about America, and if you thought his jokes were funny or if they're common in Britain or other jokes about America. Yeah, sure. That'd be funny to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain, learning about British culture, seeing British things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.